Today we're going to look at this pen. It is an Opus88, as you can see, beautifully presented, and it is a demo. Now the demo's been around for ages, not an exciting pen in its own right, but what is interesting is this word here, flex, and this is an extra fine flex nib. So what I'm really interested to do here is to have a look at the flex nib. We will do a writing test on it and we'll see what we think about it. So as always, Opus88 pens are quite beautifully presented. Lovely box. This is one of the nicest for sort of mid-range pens. There we go. And as you see, it's a large pen. A very large pen, actually. Not their largest. I think the Omar takes the prize there, but here we are. But it's a demo, so you can see what's going on. And what's going on is that this is filled, here we go, by filling the barrel with ink. There we go, and you do that using this. Well, I'm not going to fill it today because it's a demo and someone one day will buy it. So here we are, put it back together again. And do that up again and take a look at the pen in general. Well, the first thing you'll notice is this bar down the centre, and it's a Japanese style eyedropper, and it's Japanese style because it has this shaft running down the centre. Now what does that do? Well, basically this screw at the end will move it either up or down. Let's have a look and see whether we can see evidence of that. When in the down position, it prevents ink flowing from the barrel to the pen. So this is a pen you can safely take on a plane, should you wish to, and it's not going to leak. And there'll usually be a little bit of ink left on the feed, so you can write for a little while. But if you want to write any longer, you will need to undo the valve to enable the ink to flow into the feed and eventually the nib. So that is a Japanese style eyedropper. But as I said, what we're really interested in here today is the nib. Oh, look at that. It's got a cutaway on it. Now, there seem to be an awful lot of pens with steel flex nibs suddenly hitting the market. Leonardo, I know, do one, and this is the first I've seen from Opus, and it does look to be the same nib, which I believe comes from Jovo. I'm pretty confident about that, but I'm not entirely sure, so we'll have a slightly quicker look. Now, there are various ways of imparting flex into a nib. With a gold flex nib, it's usually going to be 14 carat, and the metal will have been made to give it a degree of springiness that gold does not usually have. So it's a matter of how it's alloyed, what it's mixed with, how it's tempered, what sort of heat treatment it has, and also the design. And this cutaway is a way of imparting a degree of flex, which is probably used more on steel than it is on gold nibs, although it can be used on gold nibs as well. There we go, and you will see that there is a little bit closer. There is a decent degree of flex there. So we've had a look at the pen. I mean, it is a very popular shape, size of pen, huge ink capacity, so consequently a popular and well-made pen. But what we're interested in here is the nib and the degree of flex. So we're going to stop here for a moment and start again when we have some paper and ink. Right then, today we have a lovely bottle of Edelstein Sapphire ink. We remove the lid, there we go, and here's the pen. So, a bit of a dip. It should do it, although sometimes it takes a little while to get a new pen going. What did we say it was? Okay, well that's writing with virtually no pressure at all. One of the tests of a good pen is that it should write under its own weight, and I've got to say this one does. However, that's not the point with this, is it? We need to see whether we can get any line variation. So let's go no pressure, modest pressure, a little bit of flags, more pressure, and a lot of pressure. Well, there's certainly, for an extra fine line, you're getting flecks. But well, I'm not a great exponent of flex writing. If I could do copper plate, oh, I don't know, getting a bit there. Actually, that is quite interesting. You will see that there's quite a distinction there. Now it's ugly, but there's little doubt that the lines here are a good deal broader with a bit of pressure being applied than here with no pressure being applied. So I think in terms of flex, yes, it comes, but it comes at the cost of using a reasonable degree of I should really practice some nice flourishes to show off. The flex on the nib, but I'm not going to learn that now, I'm afraid, not at this moment. So there we go. We have flex, we have takeoff, but what I would say is that you do need to work a bit to get it. So right, so to sum up, I think I quite like this. It's a pen that can be used as an everyday pen. It's an extra fine nib, it's pretty smooth, it's nice to use. And if you want to move towards doing flex writing, this will be a reasonably good pen to start with, actually. You could, I suppose, start using a dip pen, but they're fiddly and can be a bit of a mess. And you have to keep dipping them, which is a nuisance. This does give you a pretty good degree of flex, actually, for your money. And it could well tempt you in to flex writing, and you'll get a lot of satisfaction out of it. A warning, if you enjoy using this pen, and if you enjoy the flex, you're probably going to wind up spending a fair bit more money on a gold flex nib, which you will find you don't have to work quite so hard. But overall, nice pen, which I can recommend. It's John Hall from Right Here saying thank you very much for watching.